Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Lexer webinar with Jeremy Hale, the CEO of Mountain Khakis. Apologies to those of you that had tuned in originally when we scheduled the webinar. We had some technical difficulties. We had speakers in different locations, and it frankly didn't work very well. So apologies, and thank you for your patience while we decided to record it so you could listen to it at your leisure. I'm Erin McDaniel. I head up sales for the Americas, and just wanted to give you a quick intro so you know what you can expect over the next 20 minutes. So the CEO is going to explain how they increased and really exceeded their planned revenue by 16% with just 70 days to go until the end of the year. If you have any questions post-webinar, feel free to reach out to us. Our details will be listed below, and we hope you enjoy it. So with no further ado, over to Jeremy and Dave. Thanks again.
Hello, my name is David Chin. I'm the president of Lexer in North America.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Hale, president of Mountain Khakis, and I'm one of Dave's clients. I'm excited to tell you about some of our learnings and also how our business has partnered with a company like Lexer to drive our results.
Thanks for joining me today, Jeremy. The story we're going to tell today is how Jeremy's business used their customer data to grow Black Friday sales by 49% year on year. Jeremy joined Mountain Khakis in September, and in his first 30 days in the business, he made the decision to invest in Lexer. You're going to hear the story of what he learned about the business that he's just taken the reins of, the decisions that he made, and the impact of those decisions in growing revenue. For those who are unfamiliar with Lexer, our mission is to help our clients to become data rock stars. We provide software and services that enable marketers, customer service and e-commerce professionals to genuinely understand and engage their customers. So Jeremy, can you please introduce everyone to Mountain Khakis?
Mountain Khakis started 15 years ago in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and the view was pretty simple. Just to make a more durable pant. A pant that lasts longer, that fits great, that feels good. Made largely for the outdoors. Fast forward to today, and we have a full range of men's and women's apparel. We have 3 offices in the US. Our operating head office is in Charlotte. Product is designed in Jackson Hole, and our retail team is based in Denver.
So Jeremy, how did you first become aware of Lexer?
I first came across Lexer whilst I was the Vice President of International Development for Billabong. We wanted to execute a better omni-channel strategy, but we lacked a truly unified customer view. When we came across Lexer, the CEO of our group agreed it was the missing link to be able to execute against our omni-channel strategy. Once implemented, we were able to finally make sense of that omni-channel strategy fast.
So 30 days into the role, what were your first observations starting at Mountain Khakis?
I was an incoming CEO to a new business, so I'd done my due diligence. The first thing I did was look at where our business was growing. We were growing and we were cash flow positive, but we were growing in a really inefficient way. We were having to work a lot harder as an organisation to facilitate that growth. It was clear to me that I needed to address this quickly. Added to this, there were parts of the business that were behind plan. One of these was e-commerce.
The customer data platform solution we delivered to Mountain Khakis addressed 3 common challenges faced by most of our clients. These challenges stopped them from genuinely understanding and engaging their customers. The first challenge is understanding the relationship you have with each customer when your data is fragmented and raw, sitting trapped in legacy IT systems and SaaS point tools. We helped Mountain Khakis to unify their customer order, email and product data into a single customer view and enriched it into customer profiles tuned for insights and marketing. The second challenge is gaining actionable insight without having to rely on IT and analytics teams. Our tools are designed for business users, so the Mountain Khakis marketing and e-commerce team were able to self-serve insight, define key customer segments to grow revenue, and strategies to reduce waste. The third final challenge is how to efficiently connect your customer segments to paid and owned media channels. We provided Mountain Khakis with a simple audience workflow tool that connects to the Mountain Khakis Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and MailChimp accounts, making it lightning fast to target customer segments in as little as a few clicks. Jeremy, can you please outline the key milestones after you invested in Lexer?
I was a new leader in September, which is go time from a retail standpoint. I thought, what can I actually do now in order to drive the result and maximise revenue and profitability for the full year? I signed the agreement with Lexer in the middle of October. Once the Lexer team had integrated our data into their platform, we received some really meaningful insights into our revenue performance and customers within 15 days. From there, we built a strategy to target key audiences across Black Friday and to set us up for success through the rest of November or through December to make the most of the holiday business. During the holiday period, we learned two key things. We could dramatically increase revenue via more targeted campaigns. By being more selective in our messaging, speaking to each customer in a more relevant way, dramatically improved our conversion. With access to our data and tools for targeting, our middle management were empowered to set and execute their own strategy. This meant we no longer required the services of our digital agency. This is a big point for us, as for a business our size that is very well financed, we were just outsourcing a whole bunch of different services to all these different agencies. And look, the agency was awesome, the people are great, but the reality was we were spending a big chunk of money, like $300K a year, to have somebody do a lot of work for us that ultimately we should be doing ourselves. So we brought that function back in-house and saved a lot in the process.
Thanks, Jeremy. Let's step through the initial insights and strategy. So before we started working with Mountain Khakis, Jeremy had told us that e-commerce revenue was down year on year. One of the first things we do when supporting our clients with insights into how to improve revenue is to look at where revenue comes from in relation to customers. The first thing we saw when looking at the Mountain Khakis transactional data was the decline in e-commerce revenue was coming both from a decline in new customer acquisition and customer retention. This data was current at October of 2018, so it's showing a year-on-year decline. What were your first thoughts in seeing this, Jeremy?
Well, you either sit there as the new CEO and you write it out, knowing that you're not really going to be accountable to the result for the first year, or you can do something about it. Luckily for us, we did the latter, and were able to impact the final 2018 numbers.
Knowing that we had to impact both acquisition and retention quickly, together with the team at Mountain Khakis, we identified 3 strategic pillars to act on immediately. The first was that we needed to reinvigorate new customer acquisition. When we analyse new customer acquisition, we look at 3 dimensions: volume, value, and quality. We try to answer these 3 simple questions. Are you continuing to attract the same volume of new customers or more customers each year? How much do those customers spend with you in their first transaction? And how likely are those customers to repeat purchase with you in their second year? For Mountain Khakis, the big insight was that the volume of new customers they were attracting to the brand declined in both 17 and 18. The 18 result, year on year, was less than the 15 result. It's a very clear action that they needed to acquire new customers if they were going to return to growth. The second pillar was around re-engaging lapsed customers. When we analyse revenue from existing customers, we use a recency, frequency, and monetary value segmentation. This approach is very simple and powerful. It provides a framework that you can use to drive customer lifetime value. Through this segmentation, we identified that 65% of the Mountain Khakis customer had not transacted for 2 years. And then the third insight was around monetary value distribution. We could see very clearly that a very few Mountain Khaki customers made up a significant component of their revenue. What you're looking at there on the right-hand side, in that bar chart, you can see customers who have ordered once versus customers who have ordered 2 or more times. 43% of the customer base had ordered 2 or more times, and that group of customers made up more than 67% of total revenue. It made it very clear to us that if we were going to grow revenue in the business, we needed to do 2 things. We needed to focus on acquisition, so those efforts needed to acquire customers that purchase multiple times, that make up that 67% of revenue. And we needed to focus on seeing whether we could convert 1-time buyers to 2-time buyers. Jeremy, when you first saw these insights and the strategy. What were your initial thoughts?
We were excited. We wanted to see that with these insights, we could get the e-commerce revenue back again on plan. We developed this two-speed company. Our marketing engine was going at one speed and our product engine just couldn't keep pace. We knew that we couldn't address the shortfall with product, so we had to be smart and agile with marketing. Our in-house photographers and marketing team worked quickly to create the content so we could link the right products with the right people, as opposed to this kind of hit and hope mentality, which was how we were working before.
Okay, so on the customer acquisition side, we identified 10 audiences that the teams at Mountain Khakis created content around for Black Friday and for Christmas. There were 6 segments centered around high-value customers. So we took the Mountain Khakis high-value customers, segmented them into 6 segments by gender and recency. We fed them into Facebook, created a lookalike audience, and targeted them through Black Friday and Christmas. The other 4 acquisition audiences we created were email prospects. Now, this is a pro tip for everyone listening. Feeding your email prospects into paid media, typically they'll be the ones that you've acquired through sweepstakes, is a very, very strong strategy to drive acquisition. Typically, we see our customers achieving a return on ad spend significantly higher when targeting these prospects than the results they get from pure prospecting. We fed 4 audiences segmented by gender and opt-in or opt-out status. We wanted to learn, could Mountain Khakis acquire these customers or these prospects at a profitable return on ad spend? And the results were staggering. The highest performing audiences were the email prospects. They were females who had opted into email, and they converted at a 7.7 times return on ad spend. This was a group of customers who were only ever receiving email. Targeting them on another channel created a fantastic result. The next 2 highest performing audiences were high value customers segmented by gender. They were women and men that had purchased within the last 12 months, with the women performing at a 5 times return on ad spend and the men performing at a 3.5 times. Jeremy, on seeing these results, what were your thoughts?
The results were excellent. They also challenged some of our previous thinking around our customers and their buying behaviour. 90% of our product sales are from the men's collection. However, our top performing audiences were women. On further review in Lexer, we could see that they were buying men's products. Knowing this really helps inform how we message, who we message, our tone, our voice, because ultimately she's buying for her significant other. I'm really happy that we're returning at 7 times and we can get these kind of uplifts. However, I need to make sure that we keep funding these campaigns to ensure that we maximize volume.
On the customer retargeting side, we focused on 6 audiences. We segmented the existing customer base by high and low value. We then segmented them by gender and recency, which gave us 6 audiences that we fed into Facebook as a custom audience and targeted them on Facebook and Instagram through Black Friday and all the way through until Christmas. The results for the customer targeting were staggering. The blended average across all customers yielded a 12 times return on ad spend. By doing the segmentation around gender, customer value, and recency, we were able to learn which variables for future campaigns will deliver the biggest impact to return on ad spend. What we learned with Mountain Khakis is that gender and recency have a material impact on return on ad spend, but it's actually historical lifetime value that has the biggest influence, culminating in the highest performing audience being high value women. Jeremy, can you talk to the Black Friday results?
Yeah, and I think that's what's really important here. The revenue results are fantastic, of course, but what's really important was the new customer acquisition and the growth that we could get there, because our business is 33% e-commerce. By volume of products sold, it's only 17% through e-com and 83% through wholesale. What I'm most pleased about is that with Lexer in place, we have an objective view with no emotion, just true insights against which you can make faster decisions and better marketing performance. Lexer's value is twofold. First of all, I have a wider addressable audience. I'll be able to sell them more product. And I'll be able to directly link that to my wholesale strategy because I'm going to know where they live, how they transact, and what their interests are within my collection. I can then be driving those customers to the local retailers and adding value for all of those local wholesale accounts that we have because it's an ongoing channel that's important for us. But most importantly, I've got a richer and more complete data set so that I can deliver tailored messaging for all of these new customers and our existing ones and show them the products that are right for them within our collection.
One thing that popped out reviewing the Black Friday results was half of the newly acquired customers were female, which is very different to the total customer distribution. This is largely caused by the performance of our female audiences. When we looked at the products that those newly acquired women were buying, they were overwhelmingly men's. What that enabled the team to do was to create an audience of women who had bought men's products and target them with the ad that you see there that says, "You've got him squared away, now treat yourself." This campaign drove a 7 times return on ad spend, converting customers that were newly acquired to a second transaction within 2 weeks, which is an incredible result. But the most amazing part was that this insight was acted on in as little as 15 minutes.
And we wouldn't have come out of that by ourselves. If we didn't have those insights, we would have missed that opportunity entirely. In summary, our top 3 learnings from our first 3 months with Lexer was 1, use your customer data to inform your strategy. 2, invest in tools that empower your team to drive creative decisions founded on data, because if you do, the team becomes significantly more engaged. 3, the lessons that we learned from e-commerce have a direct applicability into our wholesale strategy.
Well, thank you everyone for listening to the Lexer webinar. We hope you enjoyed the content, and thank you to Jeremy Hale for sharing his really inspirational story. If you have any questions, again, get in touch. We also will be publishing shortly a full case study with all the details around Mountain Khakis, how they did what they did, and stay tuned for future webinars delivered from the Lexer team. Thanks again. Bye-bye.